What's the one thing a special operations team wants in the air when they're on the ground and all hell breaks loose?
The answer? The ghostly figure of a Hercules attack aircraft. Nicknamed Spooky, this is the latest generation of the AC-130 gunship that first saw action back in Vietnam. The C-130 airframe was designed to transport troops and artillery to the front line. It was quickly realized that instead of just carrying the firepower, you could build it into the actual plane. And the A for attack was added to the C-130. Now, with improved armaments, avionics, battle management sensors, and countermeasures, all 13 AC-130Us are currently assigned to the Air Force Special Operations Command, based at Hurlburt Field in Florida. The reason I'm here is that the Spooky's current weapon systems are about to undergo a field test, and I've been granted exclusive access. In just a few hours, I'll be taking part in a highly charged mission to demonstrate the devastating firepower this mega gunship can unleash onto the battlefield.
Tell you what, fasten your seatbelts. When this baby blows, you're gonna feel it in this plane.
Nobody knows that better than the pilots, men like Captain Jay Womble, who's been flying Spooky for over 2 years.
All right, tell me a little bit about the tactical environment you have to operate in.
Typically, we'll work in a medium to low threat environment based on the capabilities of the aircraft, mostly at night, and we'll be blacked out to kind of protect the aircraft.
It's the Spooky's firepower that I'm really interested in. So, time for a quick rundown of the weapon systems, starting with the Gatling gun.
Right here we have the 25mm weapon system.
Aerial gunner Sergeant Jim Yoakum has already racked up 11 years of service on these gunships.
What's it like firing this bad boy?
It's amazing. When we do a 350 round burst, the airplane is just continually jarring. You can smell it. And our 350 round burst is what we like to call the crowd pleaser.
And if the crowd below demands an encore, there's plenty more to follow.
Now look at this monster over here. This is incredible. What's this?
Yeah, what we have here is a 105mm howitzer cannon. We carry 100 rounds of this on board. It's manually loaded. The firing rate for this is pretty much dependent on the individual gun crew. We like to shoot it at about 7 to 8 rounds a minute. And this is my personal favorite. It requires the most manual interaction and gives you the most bang for the bucks.
Depending on the mission, the Spooky's howitzer can fire rounds capable of everything from airburst to hard target penetrators.
We have one fuse on that has 2 settings. One is a point detonating setting, where once that round strikes a target and impacts, it'll detonate at that point, creating about 3,000 pieces of shrapnel. We also have the hardened impact penetrator, the hip round. As soon as it gets through that wall, it is going to detonate as well.
And between these 2 systems, the Spooky has until recently packed the 40mm Bofors cannon, which has been around since World War II. But I'm lucky enough to see the weapon that's about to replace it, the brand new Bushmaster II Mark 46 chain gun.
This sleek, mean-looking barrel is the latest upgrade on Spooky. It fires 30mm rounds, 200 of them in a minute.
The Bushmaster has already seen action with the Marines and will soon be ready for the Air Force. Future Spookies will be armed with twin Bushmasters, doubling the firepower and making life a lot easier for the maintenance guys on the ground.
If I had to order a bolt for a 40, it's going to take me a couple weeks to get. This is a brand new system, and it'll be there, it'll be accessible. I'll be able to get that aircraft off the ground faster so we can put lead on target.
The Bushmaster's smaller round doesn't compromise on lethality. Far from it.
We're getting a lot of lethality because it'll give us a better standoff. And it'll give us more accuracy when they go to shoot.
But the refinements don't stop there. Spooky is also being lined up to carry a GPS-guided gliding munition, very similar to JDAM.
The ability to fly into the target is the key aspect of this weapon.
Former Spooky gunner Bill Walter now develops advanced weapon systems for the Air Force Special Operations Command.
Even when you've got precision or near precision with a JDAM, you still have a rather large warhead. This is 47 pounds. This can be used in much tighter constraint, much smaller areas without having to worry about collateral damage in the targeted area. Anybody can put down 1 kilo warheads all day long, and it's not going to really matter if you don't hit the target. Therefore, the guidance, the wings, the fins, all the stabilization, and the ability to fly into the target is the key aspect of this weapon. Focus lethality. Put it right on the target.
The thing that elevates the AC-130 uniform into a future weapons category is the advanced electronics and radar system that are on board in the Battle Management Center. It's here that they orchestrate the cacophony of chaos.
To do that requires no less than 5 cruise stations, including 2 sensor operators who control the infrared detection set and the all-light level television systems. It sounds complex, and it is.
The fire control system has 4 computers. 2 of them are designated as fire control computers. It can track or train 2 targets at the same time and be ready to fire at any time on 2 separate threats.
And that, folks, is the spooky AC-130u gunship. Now it's time to see this attack plane in action. I'm about to join its 13-man crew on a night flight mission.
I get to cause havoc with a 25mm Gatling gun. It fires 30 rounds in a second.
And then I bring you the future of firepower, the electromagnetic gun.
Only on AHC.
I'm at Hurlburt Field in Florida, finding out about one of the U.S. Air Force's most versatile and powerful weapon systems.
It's called an AC-130, and it's an attack aircraft, and the weapons put the attack into it. If it wasn't for the weapons being on here, it would have no bite. That's what we're here for.
To see that bite for myself, I'm going to join the crew on a training exercise under the cover of darkness.
We are going to be Spooky 4-4 and going to be operating on tail 512.
We're going to have the Afghanistan type scenario. We're going to be blacked out, 1 row of MBG lights in there. We'll have you have the harness on, your survival vest, helmet, oxygen, the whole 9 yards.
Codename Operation Swiper will be taking out targets on the simulated battlefield below us. The scenario centers around an enemy agent. It's typical of the missions faced by gunship crews in the real world.
He's been helping them identify and place IEDs as well as making them. They want to stop that. Acceptable level of risk on this from the commander is medium. In state is that he's in our custody. He's denied the ability to smuggle his foreign fighters in, tried his forces, and then destroy the enemy safe havens that are throughout the area.
Before I go anywhere, though, I need to be kitted out with the right gear.
Oh, yeah.
Is that better? Just relax. There you go.
The AC-130 is unpressurized, so I need to be fitted with an oxygen mask for when we're at high altitude.
Okay, how does that feel?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? Okay, I'm just gonna go up in altitude.
When night falls, that's when Spooky comes into its own. Now, it may not look that stealthy, but trust me, it can creep into the right place at the right time to scare the right people. The beautiful thing is, I actually get to fire these. Now, I'll tell you what, this is definitely going to be the biggest bullet I've ever fired. Tell you what, it isn't every day you get a ride on a bird like this.
Clear number 2 engine.
Number 2 is clear.
Co-pilot check was complete.
Here we go.
Gears up, just go flaps, speed's good, flaps up, I can take off later. Flaps checking up.
The crew in the Battle Management Center locate their pre-brief target with onboard sensors.
Crew Foco, TV gun to trainable channel A. Target is 145 degrees, 850 meters. Foco is ready.
Once the onboard sensors have determined a target's exact location, the fire control officer selects the best weapon to take it out. Our first target is a building used for storing munitions. The 40mm cannon is the weapon of choice, and I get to fire it.
It's 470 meters, focus ready.
Stood 6.
Roger, target destroyed. Stand by for next fire mission.
A Spec Ops team in the field confirms that a large number of enemy personnel are gathering on the edge of the town. That sounds like a job for the crowd pleaser. A full burst from the Gatling gun.
That is incredible.
Now, an enemy tank is blocking our ground troops from gaining access, so the spooky crew lock on with the howitzer to take it out.
Channel B, target is 165 degrees, 785 meters, focus ready, Channel B. Guns ready.
Gun ready.
Less than a minute later, the tank is no longer a threat, and I got to place the round on the target.
Ceasefire.
6. All guns are safe. All guns are safe.
Thank you guys. That was fantastic.
For me, the mission is over all too soon. Thanks to its legendary powers of endurance, a normal spooky outing can last as long as 10 hours, which is great news for the Special Ops team on the ground. And with the new, even deadlier weapon system scheduled to be on board soon, Spooky is about to get a whole lot scarier. Still to come, a radically different concept in firepower. The electromagnetic gun produces no flash and no bang.